It's just that he didn't want to be the person to fight. He didn't want to be a bully, maybe, or he just didn't want to be like his bullies. I don't really know.
But what resonates with this movie so much for you?
I don't even know what really, like, again, I don't really like horror movies or thriller movies that much, but for some reason this one just makes me feel things, both bad and good. And I don't know, I really liked each of the characters. I loved Gwen. I think Finney's my favorite character.
So would you, so it's a recommendation then?
Definitely. I would definitely recommend you go watch it. Even though it's sad, it's kind of like bittersweet in a way, because I don't know if I should spoil it.
Well, don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it, but it has a both happy and sad end. It's more bittersweet than anything, but I would definitely recommend it.
It's great.
So.
Beautiful, Jalika. And I have two last questions that I really wanted to ask you guys. Let me see stuff. One of the questions I want to ask you, let me ask, you're 17, right?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on relationships? Like, I mean, as a teenager.
Well, first things first, kind of to each their own. Because I'm not going to tell you any other teen really what they should do. I wouldn't recommend dating really before like 15. Let's say 15 as an age that I still think is pretty young to be dating. Because first of all, when you think about your life, the ages of your life, like stages, like if you're going to live to 70, 68, whichever one, 15 is just like a quarter of that. You're not even fully, you haven't even been alive long yet, and you really probably don't even fully know yourself yet to be involved with another person. But like, and still, because of the different people, and maybe different people mature differently, I would say 15, fine. But I really wouldn't recommend dating before 15. Obviously, definitely not before when you're a kid, because that's just weird. But 15 is still pretty young to start dating. I myself am not really interested in dating, even though I'm 17, even though I'm almost 18, and I could be in a relationship or whatever. I'm not really interested yet, because I think I need to figure out myself more. I need to figure out who I am as a person separately before I even get into being with another person, having to be worried about their feelings. Not to say I wouldn't want to worry about someone else's feelings, so I do have my siblings in general, but like, it's kind of different. Like, even having friends can be hard in that degree, much less a relationship where you have to be. And then also I have to get myself on a certain level when it comes to my again, it's mainly just getting to know myself and who I am before I get to be involved with another person. Another thing is that I'm really I'm just really not interested in going out there and dating. It's just not something that stays on my mind much. I have other things I think I'm more interested in, and being with someone else is not really one of those things. But I do know it's different for everybody. I know some people are probably younger than me and think that they're at that level. I can't judge you if you are or not, but I feel like you really have to know yourself on a different level before you start having to be involved with another person who you're gonna have to figure out who they are, who probably doesn't even know themselves yet. Again, because of the age you're at. And I don't know, it's kind of an interesting topic to be on, because again, like I said, to each their own.
Yes, well, I mean, it was just something that I wanted. We will definitely elaborate more. We personally have a longer segment on relationships, because I've seen where that's a thing with teenagers, and I'm not somebody to bash any teenagers. I don't know what your mindsets are, why they choose that path, but I really actually wanted for you to speak on that a bit. Okay, what are your thoughts, Juwan? Being a 15-year-old. Go ahead.
So if you meet all the prerequisites of like all the demands of being in relationships and responsibilities, then it's like, yeah, you can go ahead. I mean, it's like, usually that takes more experience, and experiences usually, I guess, combined with your age. Not necessarily, but like usually an older person will be able to have more experience.
And I mean, also, you mean experience with relationships or experience in general life?
In life.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, maybe if you want to talk about experience in relationships, it comes from start somewhere, but I think a lot of people would say they prefer they waited until they're older to start having those experiences when it comes to relationships. I don't think, as someone who hasn't been in a relationship and hasn't really been caring about relationships much, I don't think I'm missing out on anything. I have a lot of life ahead of me, and I think everybody does. Like, they have life ahead of them and a lot of times to be in these relationships if they really want to. But I feel like at a certain point, you're probably, when you're younger, you'll be more likely to make some decisions that you'll regret later when it comes to relationships. Like, obviously making mistakes is part of life, part of growing, but I just think some things aren't really necessary when it comes to those mistakes. Some things you probably would really prefer you didn't have to go through when it comes to relationships. So I think maybe just waiting until you're older is the best option. But again, everybody's on different levels of maturity.
Not really just until you're older though, just like when you're more wise and experienced. Like,
It's
even
true.
if you're not as old, but you feel like you've gone to like a certain point in life where you're mature enough.
And responsibly enough.
Yeah.
Yes. So what advice would you give to a teenager who's feeling like they're missing out and they need to, be involved?
There's
Maybe
no
you get
rush.
involved. Maybe get involved in different ways. Relationship isn't really a way to get involved. I mean, the experience of a relationship for the first time would be awesome, I guess, for some people. But also, that doesn't have to be rushed, like Javon just said.
It's like you're not on a ticking time bomb. Like, there's no real point of like feeling that you need to do everything when in your teens, when you have the rest of your life ahead of you. I'm not saying you gotta wait, because then, like, great things come to those who wait, but not for those who wait too late. So it's like, you gotta wait till the right
I guess
time.
you gotta be smart with your timing, but also you don't need to rush anything. Again, emphasis on not rushing these things.
I don't know why I keep quoting.
Well, that shows your maturity and it shows how wise you are, So that means I won't have to be worried about.
Again, please don't take this the wrong way if you're younger and dating, or if you think you need to be dating younger or whatever. It's just our opinions. You don't have to agree, and that's okay.
Yes, you're not bashing anybody. You're not coming for anybody.
No,
It's just
everyone's own
another
choices.
perspective.
Yeah. Yes. Moving on. This is our perhaps
Closing question.
and I chose this question because, like I said, this is the 1st of December, and
Is this like
it's
a
the
resolution
ending.
type of question?
It's the ending of the year, the starting of the last month of the year, and the ending of the year. What are your plans for 2025?
I don't make plans for the future unless it's maybe just doing well in my future. I don't say you shouldn't go into things without a plan. And yeah, you can have maybe a basic outline, like if you want going to college or having a job in a certain area or whatever. But I mean, I wouldn't have to say, oh yeah, next year I'm gonna do this, because first of all, that sets you up for maybe a lot of disappointments, or maybe setting yourself up to forcing yourself to meet these expectations that may not even be necessary, forcing yourself to do these things in a certain time when maybe these things would still happen at a better time, because you don't even know what's going to happen in the future. You don't even know if there is a future. It's like, you don't need a plan for these things. You can say maybe, yeah, I wanna be better in certain ways, but even then that can be stressful on yourself. You just have to let yourself grow. You have to let yourself be I don't know what way to frame it. Like I said, let yourself
Just
grow.
be present. Just be present and take it one step.
No, but I mean, you have to be nice to yourself. Instead of forcing yourself, putting all these expectations on yourself and your future, allow yourself to be flexible, fluid.
Makes sense.
Like I said, grow. And
See what comes with.
see what life has planned for you instead of trying to plan for life.
Beautiful. What about you, Javon?
Like Jojo was saying, you shouldn't try to plan out like your entire life, because
And not even entire life, but I mean even just in this next year.
yeah, but like just you should structure yourself and try to like set a goal that you want to at least be at the end of the year, so then like you can go to that stage and hopefully rise up to the next. But don't expect, to be there. Just
And
gotta
have these
structure
things happen?
yourself and like make sure you're putting yourself in a state where you can be, you know, going up, and don't be sporadic. That's what I'm saying. Don't have expectations, but have a layout that you want to start with, that you can ease into and try to progress in. But don't expect to just be able to follow it exactly how it is, because it's not realistic. But
just be intentional.
No, I'm trying to say just don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself.
That's right. So go into 2025 with ease. Well, is there anything specific you want to leave with the viewers?
Oh, obviously we're not perfect. We make a lot of mistakes, both when talking, both in this video, both outside. So we're not perfect, and we're not trying to be perfect. That's not the point of this. It's just really just sharing our perspective, maybe sharing some views that you might relate to, perspectives you might relate to, or agree with,
or giving you new perspectives that maybe you actually agree to,
or maybe never thought of.
Yes.
We're not trying to force anything on anybody. We're not trying to push any specific narrative. We're just really just talking. We're just having a conversation.
A very candid, very, very, very candid.
Very candidly so conversation that you guys are paying witness to.
Well, I couldn't have said it any better. And I personally am so happy to be in your world. And hopefully, everybody else will find the comforts in being in your world, And even if they don't, it's just, like you said, your perspective.
Maybe we'll have more videos like this. Maybe we'll have different videos. We're here giving you different things, but at the basis, it's really just mainly supposed to be candid. Maybe it's a daily live video. Maybe it's a weekly live video. Maybe it's us reacting to something or talking about something specific.
It's just life.
Yeah.
Just life.
So
live it with us.
Candidly So by Dynamic 8.
Have a great rest of the evening.
Roll the credits.
And now for the outro, which is really just us dancing a bit.